beginning in the summer with conditioning, moving his big body around, coming to camp prepared to play and compete. Played well in the exhibition season. So, you know, for him, it's a tough thing because he goes down the checklist and he looks at some of the things he's accomplished. But, you know, we want to build a long career for him, and we want long-term success for our team, and we just feel right now for both, it's best that Leon spends a little bit of time in the American League to start the season. Gives our group here an opportunity to get to know each other and get to know each other better. As I said in Vancouver after the game, they're still trying to figure me and us as a staff out, and we're trying to figure them out. And I'd rather do that with Leon playing a lot and playing center down there, having success on the power play, than being in the midst of all of that here right now.
There was one play in the, I think it was late in the first period in the first Vancouver game here. You kind of made a junior hockey move to look like you got him demoted. The line was
no. Yeah, no, there wasn't any specific move or play or anything that got Leon demoted. You know, we want him to have a long, healthy Edmonton Oiler career. And he needs a little bit of time there, and then he will have that. So instead of talking about 12 days, we want to talk about 12 years with Leon, and we want to have team success with him involved for that long. So it wasn't one move, one opportunity, one moment. Like I said, he received a passing grade in a lot of areas, just a little bit of time.
Would you like to see him playing largely center down there, or?
Well, I started training camp by telling you that I envision him being a big centerman. And we experimented with him on the wing, which he's proven to us that he can play in that position. So now he's a utility guy. He can swing in all different positions. When we need a recall on the wing, we're comfortable with him. When we need a recall in the middle, we're comfortable with him. When he plays so well down there that he's beating out one of our centermen for whatever reason, then we've got him. So that was part of the movement, and he passed that test as well.
He is a center.
He is going to go down as a center. He'll play a little bit of wing down there too, but primarily as a centerman.
Scrivens just had 3 goalies. The other guy played.
We had 3 goaltenders, and you know, not a short preseason schedule, but it felt short if you were a goaltender. And organizationally, we made that decision to go with the 2. And Ben is still part of the organization. We consider our depth very, very strong in the organization right now through Laurent and E2 and that type of stuff. So we feel we're 5 deep, and we like that.
Ben is going to eat up playing time for Swab.
It'll be balanced. We'll figure out a way to make sure that they both get what they need.
Todd, with I guess 2 practices and a morning skate left before the opener, and I know the coaching goes on throughout the season, but is there anything you're saying over these next 3 practices by Thursday night we have to have accomplished this, we have to have them ready in this area?
Well, the whole presentation, it's going to go on and on and on all year. So the whole game, we've got to polish up areas all over. And will we have everything done? Probably not. No, we won't cover everything, but we'll try and get as much in as we can. As long as they're grasping and understanding, we'll be fine. If you watch practice today, we worked a little bit of 3-on-3 for the first time. Tried to talk about some concepts, some situations that may occur during that, and tried to implement them a little bit. But it needs a lot more work. I don't know how much more time we're going to have, but as the year goes on, that's why we play 82 games and we have 6 or 7 months is to grow our game progress.
You did tell Andrew that he's going to have to play in and out of the lineup kind of role, Peter.
Yeah, Andrew will. Andrew's an important part of our team, important piece. I can't tell you how much I respect him and his professionalism as an individual and even around the team. So that's real positive. But there will be nights where he'll be in and out of the lineup, and well, I guess it could be, and maybe it couldn't be. We'll talk to Andrew. We've had great conversations with Andrew about that situation. It was stirred up a little bit in the media about a week ago. I think the day that Andrew was getting rescued, which wasn't ideal, but we don't control that. We'll talk about it and we'll make some decisions as we go forward.
In regards to Slepyshev, Peter was saying earlier in Penticton that he kind of struggled a little bit at that tournament, What changed for him throughout the camp?
He did struggle in Penticton. I think he'd probably tell you that too. A little bit more organized, a little more structure, under control. He's played 1 or 2 years of pro hockey, not junior hockey where sometimes it's just chasing the puck real hard and running around. And I mean that with all due respect to all the junior teams and coaches, but he's a controlled player. He's a thinker. He plays well in situations. I'm not sure that he had that in Penticton, and his real first intense experience on a small ice surface also, with basically chaos because there was no practice time or anything. So now that he's had some practice time, he reads situations well. He puts himself in a good position, goes to the net hard. So perhaps his experience and pro experience and experience on the small rink now has helped him.
Is the language barrier an issue at all, Todd? How do you work on that? Is he taking English courses? How does it work?
He's getting a lot of English courses in the locker room, and there's still many ways to communicate, and it's not all verbal. The visual part's really important. Walking him through on the ice, letting him feel the situation. So we've talked about this a little bit in the past. If we can tap more than one sense, just the ears is not good enough. We've got to get as many senses into play for him as possible so that he understands. And hockey will become, or is very much a universal language when you use your eyes. And then he'll figure out what words go with that, and we'll be fine.
One of the big improvements that was required was just defending overall, the number of goals, giving up those sorts of things. As you look at your goaltending, look at the D-core that you have assembled, have a feel for them, how do you think this team is going to defend this year?
Well, it has to be better. It has to be better. 3.47, I think, was our number. That doesn't get you anything. So it has to be better. It's a focal point of ours. But when we say defend, it's not just the goaltenders making the stop or the defense playing D. It's what we do up ice. It's what we do through the neutral zone. It's positioning. Sometimes it's only 3 feet of ice that makes a huge difference. And we've talked a lot about that as a team. We've instructed a lot as a team. Will it get fixed, in St. Louis? I'd like to think it's beginning to, but I don't think we're going to see the finished product for a while. It's going to take some time.
I was talking to Gretzky yesterday about McDavid. He's of the opinion that probably the most important player in terms of the early development of McDavid here is probably not the guys on his line, but Nugent Hopkins, because of, I assume, the first line center action that he may take away on the opposition and the example and a whole bunch of other things. Can you just discuss that?
I think that's accurate. You think of Wayne's situation, how much focus was on Wayne when he played. Can you name the second line center? I guess it was Mess. So,
Actually, it was him. First when he started.
well, so, but Nuge will take a lot of that attention. Not all of it, because he's Connor, and people are well aware of him. He's not sneaking into the league. But teams will have to pick how they want to match up. Do they want to match up against Connor? Do they want to match up against Nuge? Nuge has experienced that entry into the league where, physically Connor legs and lungs and stuff are tremendous. Upper body's got to get stronger. He knows that. Nuge has experienced that, so he can share that with them. Nuge can give them an idea of what it's going to feel like going into different buildings. There's some speed buildings. There's some physical buildings. But it's just not Ryan. It's everybody has to contribute for him, and Schlep and Reinhart and Davidson and those type of players.
McDavid will be asked by the outside to live up to some huge expectations this year. You've watched him now through 8 preseason games. Is he ready to take on the expectations of the many?
He's ready to do that. He's ready mentally, which is really important. I think he's handled things very well. He's ready physically. Can always get stronger, but who can't? But that doesn't guarantee lofty numbers and meeting expectations that may not be realistic. I don't know what they are all over the place, but internally we want to see progress from him. We want to see him improve night in and night out. We want to see him gain experience in different situations. I thought there were games in the exhibition season where he was very dynamic. He was one of our better players. And then other games where he's still trying to feel his way through a bit and look like an 18-year-old sometimes. But that's going to happen. We know that.
Thanks, Todd.
Good, thanks.